Thanks for making MTN a part of your night. I'm Tim McGonigal. First at 5:30, 5 people who died in a two-vehicle crash on Friday night near Box Elder have been identified. The 5 people are 26-year-old Sage Ferguson Sr., 30-year-old Rocky Ferguson, 5-year-old Sage Ferguson Jr., 8-year-old Lovely Bear Cub, and 30-year-old Ryan Forsouls. According to the Montana Highway Patrol, all were from Box Elder. The Montana Highway Patrol was notified of the crash about 8:35 p.m. It happened along Duck Creek Road near the intersection with Upper Box Elder Road. According to MHP, a northbound vehicle went off the road. The driver then tried to correct back to the left, causing the car to go into a sideways slide. The car then collided with another car in the southbound lane. MHP says that the victims, according to MHP, alcohol and speed are believed to be factors in that crash. Fire managers have determined what started Saturday's wildfire south of Helena. According to the incident management site for the fire, the Gulch fire was started by power lines around 3 p.m. Saturday afternoon. Strong winds at the time caused the fire to grow quickly to more than 1,000 acres, and today fire managers adjusted the fire size down to around 1,100 acres. They say rain on the fire the past 2 days has helped stop its spread. As of this morning, the fire was 25% contained, and all pre-evacuation notices in the area of the fire have been lifted. Governor Bullock heard firsthand today how COVID-19 could impact wildland firefighting in Montana this summer. The state held its annual wildfire season briefing this afternoon. COVID-19 has created new concerns for fire crews and fire camps. New policies have been created to limit person-to-person contact and keep crews to their home units. Large-scale mobilization of out-of-state resources will be more difficult, and Montana will need to rely on more in-state assets and focus on initial attack. DNRC Director John Tubbs says this weekend's Gulch fire was a good demonstration of COVID protocols working.
We actually got to practice what we were talking about, which is each fire engine was its own unit. They didn't interact with the other fire engines, but everybody was in communication, and we really were protective.
61% of all wildfires in Montana are human-caused. DNRC asked people to take extra care this year with fire, noting the fewer fires that are started will ultimately mean a lower risk to firefighter health. Well, one of the most welcome sights for Montana firefighters is rainfall. And while Great Falls saw a little today, there was more rain in the forecast the further south you went. Helena could see up to 1.5 inches of rain before it's all said and done, and we welcome the first day of summer. In some areas of Montana, again, seeing more rain than others. Our Storm Tracker weather team is here to tell us more. Grant Garland joins us now. Grant?
All right, good evening, Tim, and good evening, everybody. And you're exactly right. We have been looking at showers mainly staying off towards the south, where we're looking at the higher amounts of precipitation. Going ahead and taking a look at this. Since midnight, we've seen over 1/10 inch of rain in Helena, down towards Butte, over 3/10, and towards Bozeman, almost 1/2 inch of rain. But the farther north you go, the less you see. In Great Falls, we've only picked up a couple hundredths of an inches of rain. In Havre, over 1/10, as well as in Lewistown. Now, we are looking at showers still impacting a lot of folks here in Montana, and going ahead and zooming in right here to Whitewater. This is where we're looking at a good downpour, followed just prior to that with a lot of lightning. So thankfully, we're only looking at showers there. Down towards Helena, we're looking at showers towards the west and east in Lincoln, as well as White Sulphur Springs, starting to see a few light showers try and pop into the area. Now, overall temperatures right now, 55 degrees in Great Falls, 58 in Helena, Cut Bank 60 degrees, and Fort Benton 63. And later in the show, we're going to talk about us warming up as well as drying out. But for now, Tim, back to you, sir.
All right, thanks, Grant. Well, Montana public health leaders have announced that they will propose a permanent rule change to stop the sale of flavored vaping products in the state. The Montana Department of Public Health and Human Services previously implemented an emergency rule last year, temporarily blocking the sale of flavored e-cigarettes and other products. That expired in April. DPHHS leaders say the state is still seeing an epidemic of underage vaping, and restricting flavors would make it less likely for young people to take it up. The federal government has introduced its own restrictions on flavored vapes, but it only includes certain types of products.
This proposed rule is far more comprehensive than what the FDA has done with their guidance, and action needs to be taken to address this youth e-cigarette epidemic, or else we're going to continue to have a whole generation of youth who are addicted to nicotine.
DPHHS will accept written comments on this rule proposal through July 24th. There will also be a public hearing July 16th held through remote teleconferencing. Well, across the country, child abuse hotlines have seen a drop in calls since the beginning of the coronavirus pandemic. As MTN's Matt Holzappel found out, that decrease in calls may be due in part to schools transitioning to remote learning.
Child abuse reports are down across the country, and in Montana, it's no different.
So when we first went into shelter in place, we saw a 45% drop in calls. And then over time, between kind of mid-March and mid-May, that drop has really had decreased about 27%. And then if we look at May of 2019 compared to May of 2020, we see about a 20% reduction in calls.
Nikki says that the Montana DPHHS Child and Family Services Division has no reason to believe that the drop in calls is directly correlated to a drop in child abuse and neglect. So why have there been fewer calls?
Definitely within the shelter in place, with the kids being out of school, schools are a big reporter for us. So as those closed and they were getting up and running online, then we saw a decrease.
Teachers and other school administrators are what the department calls mandatory reporters, meaning they are legally required to ensure a report is made when abuse is observed or suspected. But those teachers haven't seen their students in person since March.
Beginning on March 15, we didn't have that same kind of face-to-face contact with our children every day.
The group that makes the most calls to child abuse hotlines every year? Educators.
We get the majority of our reports from schools and therapists, daycares, people that are responsible for kids outside of their home.
The Great Falls Public School District even implemented new strategies for their teachers and counselors to look for potential signs of abuse through remote learning platforms.
There were hotline numbers that were given out. The 24/7 crisis text line was given to students. Teachers had that available as well to share with their students if they felt like they were in trouble.
One reason why teachers make such a significant percentage of those child abuse calls, the relationships they form with students.
And when you have 10,250 children that you didn't give birth to, but you're responsible for them, that's a huge responsibility. And so developing that relationship with the child is paramount in the work that we do. I don't think you can really effectively teach and engage a student in your curriculum unless you have a relationship with them.
Without the watchful eyes of teachers, who's responsible for making those calls?
We rely on mandatory reporters and the public to be watching out for the kids within our communities and making reports as they have concerns.
If you have any concerns that a child might be suffering from abuse or neglect, the department asks that you call their specialists and let them assess the situation, then go from there. Because the worst thing you can say is nothing at all. In Great Falls, Matt Holzappel, MTN News.
The number to call if you have any concerns that a child might be suffering from abuse or neglect is 1-866-820-5437. Well, this afternoon, President Trump signed an executive order to reform policing, calling for departments to adopt or ban chokeholds unless it's a life-threatening situation. The order also calls for the creation of a database for police departments to share information on officers with a history of misconduct to prevent those officers from moving between different departments. It also encourages the use of so-called co-responders like social workers and individuals trained in mental health issues to respond to nonviolent calls. Local law enforcement tell us they're always looking for ways to get better.
You know, we're going to continue down the path of always improving. That's the big piece for our agency from a training perspective. Working with our captains and the chief, I make sure that we look to find the best possible training to give our officers all the tools necessary on the street. People deserve to be treated fairly and balanced and respected as we contact them.
Lieutenant Otto says a lot of the directives in the order are already in place in his department. One summertime tradition that won't be interrupted by COVID-19 is the Great Falls 4th of July parade. However, it will see some changes. COVID-19 has caused the parade committee to create people pods and neutral zones along the extended 30-block parade route. Each pod area will be marked off and numbered with highway candles and caution tape that are designated do not use areas. The parade will start at the east end of 2nd Avenue South, heading east to 7th Street before making its way to Central and at Park Drive in front of the Civic Center. No candy, balloons, or brochures will be allowed this year. The parade chairman says they're just happy to be able to bring the community together.
The 4th of July parade in Great Falls is the biggest parade that we have in Great Falls, and it's a day that unifies our community, a day that we just celebrate together, our day of celebration with the fireworks and the parade, and it just seems to be a great day to be in Great Falls.
And the parade will actually start at the west end of 2nd Avenue South. The parade will be canceled if COVID-19 cases spike, and they're also in need of more volunteers with the extra precautions. Well, a day of fun on the water turned into a nightmare for one group. Coming up, they recall their amazing story of survival.
Powered by the Montana Television Network. The 5:30 news continues on Montana's news leader.
Well, on a hot summer day in Montana, there's nothing quite like a trip to the lake to cool down. But this past weekend, a group of friends learned that a day of rest and relaxation on the water could quickly turn to one of rescue and resuscitation. MTN's Lindsay Hyatt shares their story of survival.
A peaceful summer day on the lake, Saturday, June 13th, started out like any other.
I took 2 boats out, just goofing off, tubing, hanging out, just being with friends.
But soon the current state of affairs took a turn for the worst.
I just remembered how choppy the waves were close to shore and stuff, and how the wind picked up. And I just remembered the side of the boat was almost in the water. And of course the driver, his first instinct was to rev it up because to get on top of the water just to get it going again.
Instead, their boat began to capsize.
The last thing I remembered was the boat coming on top of us. And then after that, I just remembered swallowing a bunch of water and just trying to get out of there somehow.
Which she managed to do thanks to a fellow passenger and friend who pulled her above water.
I just pulled hair. I saw hair and I pulled. I wanted to give up. I really did. I was like, I'm not gonna make it.
But they did, thanks to the acts of friends, strangers, and good deed doers, like Levi Gibson.
He dove right in. No questions, just dove right in and saved one person, brought him to shore, and then realizes that there was another person that he saw his feet dangling underneath the boat and went in and grabbed him and saved him.
And I just laid him on my chest and started swimming back to shore.
Where strangers stepped in.
Some random strangers probably at the time grabbed him from me.
So he could make another rescue.
I ran, jumped, dove back in and just swam as fast as I could through the waves and everything. So I grabbed him and towed him to shore. Was met up with a off-duty EMT guy just randomly. He was camping right next to the lake, 50 yards from where we were.
Who took care of one of the passengers so Levi could help rescue the boat. By the end of the rescue, all 6 passengers and their boat had returned safely to shore, thanks to the kindness of strangers.
15 complete strangers, not knowing a single name, are able to work together, save 6 people, and save a boat.
The survivors thank their many heroes from that day, without whom neither they nor their stories may have ever resurfaced.
To say that we are blessed and thankful is one way to put it, because honestly, this is nothing people could survive from.
In Great Falls, Lindsay Hyatt, MTN News.
We'll have more on how to prevent boating accidents like this and stay safe during boating season later this week.
Well, temperatures are going to be warming up, and we're also going to be drying out after this week. Coming up, we're going to talk about all that and more after this break. Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you have had a great Tuesday so far. Even if we have been looking at a gloomy and rainy kind of day, we need this rain. And thankfully, we are seeing it. We are also looking at a couple of lightning strikes, though, over towards Whitewater. This thunderstorm has been pushing towards Canada, going down towards Helena. We've also been looking at a few showers towards the west and like Helmville, down towards Deer Lodge, out towards Townsend and White Silver Springs. We're seeing a few showers trying to move up from the south. And one thing I want to go ahead and say so that way everybody knows, there are areas that are around Helena that are looking at a winter storm warning. Now, this is only affecting those people, those folks that live at elevations 5,500 feet or higher, where you could be looking at almost a foot of snow. So this is areas around Helena that are looking at that. We will see rain. Now, in the Great Falls area, temperature is 55 degrees, Helena 58, Fort Benton 63, and Cut Bank 60 degrees. Elsewhere, we're looking at a lot warmer temperatures as you head on out to Glasgow, 67. 72 in Jordan. Head on, though, out to Havre, 61 degrees, and Missoula, 62. Today's high, we did get to only 55 degrees, which is almost 20 degrees below the average we typically see for this time of year for the Electric City. The record set back 1933 when it was 100 degrees, also the year that a vintage radio was just around $55. How about that? Now, the reason why we're looking at the weather we are seeing today is because, well, there are two factors. First off, we have a low pressure in Canada that is helping stir the pot for those in eastern Montana and western Montana, and then we have a low pressure with the cold front that came through yesterday. That is also allowing for some showers to impact the areas in eastern Montana as well as western North Dakota. So that's what we're seeing as we head throughout the next several hours. We'll continue to see scattered showers. Mostly, though, we're going to see as we head throughout the night, we're going to see kind of like a belt, so to speak, kind of form between Helena and Lewistown, where we're going to look at the best chance to see showers. Also staying towards the west of Great Falls, looking at showers as well. Snow, though, down towards Butte. Continuing throughout the day tomorrow, we're going to be looking at multiple rounds of showers and thunderstorms. A high pressure, though, tries to build its way into the area, but even as it does so, by Thursday morning, we're still going to be looking at showers and thunderstorms with us. So we're not going to be seeing the rain leave anytime soon, which can be a good thing too. Now, today we've only received 3/100 of an inch of rain here in Great Falls, over 1/10 of an inch in Helena, over 1/10 in Havre. Towards Glasgow and Jordan, we haven't picked up anything just yet, but that should change. As we head throughout the next couple of days, by around 6:30 in the morning on Thursday, we could be looking at almost 7/10 of an inch of rain here in the Great Falls area, possibly 2 inches in Helena. I think that is overshooting it. I think that we're going to see maybe 1 inch to 1.5 inches in and around Helena. For our winds, though, we are going to be looking at a few breezy conditions as we head throughout the night. 30 to 40 mile per hour wind gusts, possibly 50 in Cut Bank. 30 to 40 possibly in Great Falls, 20 to 30 though right around 5:30 in the morning, and 10 to 20 in Helena. As we look at our next couple of days, we're going to be looking at showers and thunderstorms. Summer starts on Saturday, and then Father's Day is on Sunday, so happy early Father's Day to all the dads out there. For our friends in Helena, showers and thunderstorms through Friday, partly sunny skies for summer, and looking at partly sunny skies as well for Father's Day. Tim?
Well, Montanans are opening up their hearts to help feed the hungry. An update on our initiative with one local food bank when the 5:30 news continues.
Powered by the Montana Television Network. The 5:30 news continues on Montana's news leader.
Well, the Great Falls community has gone above and beyond to match a donation for the food bank. Our parent company, Scripps, donated $12,000 to the Great Falls Community Food Bank to help them continue feeding people through coronavirus concerns and closures. A few weeks ago, we challenged you, the community, to match that donation, and you did. An additional nearly $13,000 was donated since the end of May.
We struggled a little bit during the summer months, and with COVID, we saw a huge increase. And so for Scripps to come through with this and then the public to actually go beyond matching it was just unbelievable. It's going to make a huge difference for us in the coming months.
So thank you to everyone who donated. Of course, you can continue to give year-round. Just give the food bank a call. And also thank you to everyone for contributing to the Rebound Montana Relief Fund. Your donations have helped it to reach $329,125. That includes matching funds from A&B West Philanthropies and MTN, plus a generous $100,000 contribution from Blue Cross Blue Shield of Montana. If you'd like to help fellow Montanans rebound, please go to KRTV or KXLH.com/relief to make a donation today. We'll be right back after this.
Welcome back, everyone. As we go throughout the day tomorrow, temperatures only will reach 62 degrees with showers and thunderstorms throughout the day. Thursday, looking at off and on showers, temperature 61. We start to warm up though on Saturday, which is the first day of summer, 77. Father's Day, 82 with mostly sunny skies. And for our friends in Helena, well, we're going to be looking at partly sunny skies for Father's Day.
Well, finally, in Latvia's capital, they unveiled a 19-foot-tall statue of a female doctor as a gesture of thanks to the country's medical personnel who treated COVID-19 patients. The sculptor said he was moved to create the sculpture after seeing news coverage of the challenges doctors in Italy dealt with as the pandemic struck Europe in March. According to the creators, the statue captures the moment when the doctor has just finished a treatment, stretching her arms with eyes closed and braces for the next case. The statue is made of a lightweight synthetic foam resistant to heat and bad weather. It will stay in place until the end of the year. Very fitting tribute.
Yeah, that's neat.
All right, that's all the time we have. See you here at 10.